Yeah.
Now, I have an admission to make to you.
Yeah.
Because what happened to me the other day, and I found myself getting in this monotonous grind of watching absolutely shit TV. And I'm going through, and I'm going through Netflix, and Ari keeps going to me, oh, I fucking love reality TV, man. I love these fucking reality TV shows with the drama and the thing like that. And I'm zipping through, and what do I see on the top?
Is it Real Housewives?
No.
That's what we watch.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, man. Yes,
and
yes.
And I'm like, do I want to watch this? And I was like, you know, maybe it is all right. I'll give it a go. So I stick on season 12. I just bang season 12 on, and I start watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
RuPaul's Drag Race. Start your engine.
Sashay away.
Away. Sashay, you stay.
It's so fucking crazy.
Good.
Yeah. It's
the characters you get on there.
It's like,
yeah, man.
You get like, it seems to me like you've got this overruling force that is RuPaul, and just whatever he says, they do. Act like a cat. Go meow, meow. It's like, it's fucking insane. You get these people just like, I don't know. It's sort of when they come on, there's quickly two different types of people that come on. There is people that are like, it's all about the looks, it's all about how I look. There's people that are like, I'm more playing a character and it's funny. Do you know what I mean? There's more people, and quickly as the show goes on and RuPaul makes them do these things that would just completely put you out of your comfort zone.
It's all for Vegas, man. Like,
the
most of
character
it's all
just
for Vegas.
starts to crumble almost. You get people like crumbling under the pressure, and like suddenly people who are funny aren't funny anymore. Suddenly people who weren't funny at all are fucking hilarious because of how they're responding to these things. And to see people break down is almost fascinating.
Right? It's really good. Like, aside from that, like, their makeup is done so well. Like, you're just like, wow, that's impressive. Like, you know, you see some girls on the street and you're like, fucking hell, love, like, you've just shoved that on. What the fuck are you doing with a fucking spade or whatever?
Hours of makeup.
And you're just seeing them like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, you know, under here, there. And you're like, Jesus, fuck. And you can see the ones who are weaker at it. Like, even as somebody who knows nothing about makeup or any of that, you're like, damn. You can respect the fucking trade, right? When you watch it, you respect it like another level. And the stories they come out with, how rough it is for them in some of the country, you're like, man, you shouldn't ever have to feel like that. Like,
for sure,
as a person,
it's a fucked up thing, but it's sort of also an amazing time to be alive at the same time because of how much change is going on, like never before. Like I was saying to Ariane, I was sitting there and I was like, we're sitting down in our home watching a Netflix show about men wanting to do drag. And it's one of the most popular, most beloved sort of characters, RuPaul, and everyone is sort of this huge, huge change of how life has changed from just like, say, the 1950s up until now. It's another world. It's insane, and it's fucking absolutely amazing. And yeah, you can definitely imagine the sort of strife on there, but mostly it's just surface level drama. A lot of it is just such surface level drama. You're
so right. And what's brilliant about RuPaul's is like, he's like, just do this little task. And like you said, it's not a hard task, but if you fuck this task, which is a simple task, you go. That's it. And it's gone. Like, that's the pressure, isn't it? It's like, oh, okay, hang on. This means a lot to me. Like, I need to get this. Like, you know, whatever. I need to win this competition. It gives you £1,000 if I win. Okay, you know, that week. You know, in makeup, you can get that. That could save them a month's working, or whatever. It's the incentives there, and he doesn't make it hard to get. It's reachable. He's like, this should be reachable for your level. This is the level we're asking for. If you don't make the cut,
it's pretty nuts, and it's like, and they're banging out the 5Ks everywhere. Like, sing this lip sync, you win $5,000 for you, $5,000 for you. Fucking, it's like the Oprah show. Fucking, you have a fucking $5,000, you have $5,000. It's fucking.
And
insane.
the lip sync, how fucking good is it?
Oh my god, some of them are so funny.
Right.
some of them are, and the thing that I noticed though is you have on the first sort of like couple of shows, you have people really putting out some dance moves, but then they're repeating it, and it sullies it really quickly. The episode I just watched had had fucking Jeff Goldblum. And he's a guest star for one of the new seasons. And I don't know if you've ever watched Jeff Goldblum, but
he's fucking weird, man.
He's disconnected from reality.
Right, I'm glad you said that, because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, what has happened to you?
But not in a. But it's hard because when you say it, it comes off very harsh. But it not in a like there's nothing about him that seems like I'm better than you, or it just seems like almost that I don't know, like he doesn't.
He's constantly acting, right? Like something
exactly.
like he's like.
And he becomes more human when the camera comes on, which is the fascinating thing. Like, there's some boys that we've been watching for donkey's years now. You guys most likely watch them if you're coming from Coto and Sen Origins. You've definitely watched the Yogscast. And those people, when they interview Jeff Goldblum, when you have people,
that was so fucked up.
When you don't have people that know how to or don't know how to communicate with him in this Hollywood sort of it's like it's literally like looking at an alien. Like you're talking to an alien. It's fucking absolutely insane. But he was one of the guest judges on this show, and the first fucking thing that comes out of his mouth, RuPaul walks on stage and he goes, Ru, I am basking in your opalescent glow. You are as beautiful as a Grecian goddess. And RuPaul looks at the camera and goes, okay, next. It's like so fucking weird, but it's fucking hilarious. It's crazy. It's hilarious. And as you said, I sort of never watched it because I've never understood drag, because I'll say it, and I'll fucking admit it as well. I sort of had a very what's the word? Sort of naive outlook on drag. To me, it was like something that is sort of shameful in a way. It was sort of like it's people want to, make. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but when you get the context of these people and why they do what they do, it suddenly becomes like, oh, that makes sense. That totally makes sense, because these people, they feel comfortable like this. It's a show. It's huge. It's beautiful. It's loads of colors and amazing fucking hand designed dresses and stuff like that. And I know it's fucking crazy. It's fucking mental.
Oh, the talent they've got.
A new level of appreciation, I would say.
Why people aren't picking them up like Next or whatever, some fucking company not picking them up to do tailoring.
It's got to be a hard thing to make mainstream, though, isn't it? Like, you've got RuPaul.
No, I'm not talking about like dressing up or whatever, but like coming up with like new fashion ideas, whatever. They're doing it off the cuff like this, and they come out like wearing something that you'd pay 10 grand for.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty fucking mental.
And they've done that in 2 hours, and you're like,
eyeball fashion.
Okay, you're next level. Like, especially those ones. Like Holly and I've watched it from like I don't know what season, but we watch. I don't watch it like as religiously as she does. I pop in, watching whatever. But you can see from as the seasons go on that it goes from like they're using costumes to they are making costumes. And it was like, oh, you make a costume in the first few seasons. That's strange. That's pretty cool. Then it's like, you don't make your costumes. What are you doing? You shouldn't even be here. And it's like, holy shit.
Well, I tell you what, speaking of game shows, one I always think to myself, I would do good on game shows like Takeshi's Castle and things like American Ninja Warrior, right?
Or like a Total Wipeout.
Oh, yes, bro. And I always think I'd be the one, man. I'd be the one to fucking bring it home. But Christ almighty. I wonder if there's ever been like anything really serious that's happened on one of those. Like, I wonder if anybody's like died on one. Do you know what I mean?
Takeshi's Castle, someone's probably has. Yeah, defo.
Do you reckon?
Like yeah.
That's fucking nuts, man. Do you ever read about this? Is another random fucking thing, but did you ever hear about it? It's something that I watched a movie the other day that was sort of about it. Johnny Knoxville's in it, and it was about like a water park that was open in the 19.
Oh, he did that new fucking like Jackass thing, but it wasn't Jackass.
Right, yeah, and it was like it was like the night. It was about this water park that was open in like the 1950s before like regulations came in and things like that. And people were dying, man. People were dying like on this water park, and they were just the most unsafe, insane rides you'd think of, like loops without any rules or anything. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, but it still happens today. Like there's rides out there where people die on them today. We went to Turkey, and Mum went down a ride on a water slide ride. She flew. We went like just dropped down. She went flying into the side, and basically like skinned herself all like about, I'd say like 6 inches on her arm. Like it was lucky that thing was there, but because it wasn't like up to the part, it just skinned her. And they were like, "Yeah, sorry, just carry on. Here's some plaster, whatever." Like, what the fuck? Like, you come over to the UK and like it's all like, "Yeah, you got to check it every morning, whatever." Fuck, man, water parks are fucked up. I've only been to one, sick as fuck. But man, if you ever got in trouble there, I was not feeling safe for that. I was grabbing onto whoever was gonna be there. Like I was not gonna drown. Like there's just so many people.
That shit. I ain't gonna drown. You're coming with me, bitch.
And you see like you see those videos on like online where like, oh my god, can you believe this wave machine? And like it's like going this. Yeah. That's what it was like when I was there. Like that is what it was like. And I'm like
mental.
And then we went to a wave machine. Like oh, sorry.
No. I was just saying some parks and stuff like that. They're just. It's just mental, isn't it? Like, there's accidents that happen on rides all the time. I think I've never been a roller coaster fan just because
I have. Yeah,
it's like I don't mind them. Like they're totally fine, but the looming idea that something is going to happen is always present and never leaves. And something I was thinking about the other day when I was a kid, right? I'll tell you a story, right? So I was on the harbour in Borth, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Borth actually. Maybe it was
Blackpool. You mean Blackpool?
No. Yeah,
you do Blackpool.
Actually, I think.
Yeah.
But I was on a harbour, I think, in Borth somewhere, and there's these people jumping off. Like these. I don't know. I don't know how old I was at the time. I must have been like, I don't know, 11 or something like that. And there's like these 15, 16-year-olds, and they're jumping off the harbour, and they're fucking diving in, and it's sick. And I'm like, yes, I want a slice of that. I want a piece of that action. And I look at my uncle who's there at the time, and he's like, "What's up?" And he goes, "What, do you want to go do that?" And I went, "Hell yes, let's go." So he walks up with me, and we go up to the top of the harbour, and we. You know, people are diving off like, you know, the classic fashion dive. 2 arms forward, straight in, you know, looking like a majestic dolphin. But then the younger people were just pencil diving, and that was like a big thing. It was like, just do that, don't dive. Now, I really wanted to do a regular dive, and so I'm looking at my uncle. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and he says against it, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just do it. So I summon up my courage. Now, it wasn't even that big of a drop. It must have been like 20, 30 feet. Not even that. Maybe not even that. Like
pretty high.
It's pretty high. Like, high enough, but like not like ridiculous. And so I jump off. And now, where this story is going is a fact that I should say about my father is he never once came into the ocean with me because he was always scared of sharks. Couldn't tell you why. Could not tell you why, but he said to me, and I asked him one day, I wanted him to explain it to me. I was like, you know, there's no sharks are going to come out. Don't be daft. Come on, come out to the ocean. It'll be fun. He goes, I watched Jaws, and that was it for me.
I don't blame that fucked so many people for the sea. And it's still to this day, I won't go in the fucking ocean for it. I get scared.
Now, this is what I was about to go on to. So I jump off the harbour, and I'm like, yeah, this is fucking sick. I'm so cool. And now the harbour that I was in, there's sort of like, there's like little, so like there's a part that is cleared of little boats where you can jump in, but around is quite a few little boats that people just use to go out on the, you know, go out in or whatever, you know, just to chill or whatever. So I jump in and I'm swimming, and I'm like, oh, you know, I'm going to hang on to one of these boats just for a minute, just while I'm chilling. And then I look up at the harbour and everyone is going, and pointing at me, and I'm like, this is weird, and everyone's going, everyone's gasping some more, and I'm like, no, and the thought now is in my head already. Just a millisecond of that is all I needed to think, this is it. This is where the great white shark fucking eats me. Right? That was the instant fucking thought.
You're like, my dad's right. I should not have gone in the ocean.
I should have listened to him. I should have listened to him. And I'm holding onto the boat, and then suddenly, boom, something hits the bottom of the fucking boat. And I'm like, I shit you not, bro. And I'm like, no, please not like this. And I'm looking at the steps that go on to like where you jump off the harbour. There's like steps that you can like swim back to and walk back up to it for people that want to jump again. And I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out in my mind. And I look to the right, and bloop, something's head pops up. It's a fucking seal, bro. And it just popped its head up right next to me. Right next to me. 10 feet, not even that, 5 feet away from me.
You just be like, fuck that.
And I looked at it and I thought, the first reaction was,
it's not a joke. What the fuck are you looking at me for? Oh, fuck.
And the first reaction was, oh, that's cute. And then the second reaction was,
shit.
I'm in its domain. And is there a chance that seals can still wig out? Because I'm still not about to deal with a freaking out seal. So I swim back, and everyone's taking pictures, and it was fine, and everything was fine. But since that day, ever since, with this idea that my dad has always said, like, oh, you know, don't go into the ocean, fucking shark is gonna fucking eat you, whatever. Now, whenever I get in the ocean, I can't shake it, and I feel like it's almost something he's passed on to me, and I can't get past this idea. Like, I'm gonna be fucking eaten. Like, it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. Same with flying and shit like that. I don't stuff like that. I mean, that's a different story. That's just a hunking 500 tons of metal fucking hurling you through the air. Like,
why people get scared of that, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, but I understand the ocean, right? Because that to me is fucking terrifying. Because that's the unknown, right? With an airplane, you're either living or you're dying. Like, if that thing's on fire, you're dying.
That's not true, though.
Yeah, but the 1% live, right? You can't be saying that the rest of the 99% are like, oh, they're the fluke.
A plane, if a plane has 4 engines, right? Usually,
or 2.
If one of the engines goes out,
it won't conk off. No,
exactly, and it can run on just one engine.
Yeah, just to land. But
yes.
But I'm talking more like you're going down. Like,
yeah, there is no. But that's the thing, though. Like,
that's not scary to me. It's like, fucking, it's fine. It's fine. Like
no,
that's
it's
it.
not,
Like,
though.
you're not going to be going down there, and you're not going to die of a slow death. Like, you're not. You're going to be going down there, and you're like, bam,
it's
gone.
Still fucked up, though.
Oh, it's completely fucked up, but not in the same sense the ocean is, because you're willingly going in the ocean and knowing anything can happen. Like that, you're rolling the dice. With the plane, you expect to get there safely, right? You don't expect to meet anything out of the ordinary. And the odd chance where it does happen, it's going to be terrifying, but for a few seconds, right? Like 30 seconds, a minute, right? It's awful, and I mean that in, you know, anybody who's lost anybody like that, awful, right? However, with the ocean, the unknown of it, like imagine me and you just swimming out, right? And you just turn around and look back at the shore and you go, "Hey, Taco," and you come back, I'm not there. Like, that's the sort of unknown we're talking about. It's not like, oh, okay, you know, this is what happened. It crashed or whatever.
I suppose it's
that's what's terrifying.
It's slightly better, but I think the overwhelming reason why I don't like planes is just the fact that if, as you said, if something goes wrong, that's it. There is no like, oh, maybe or whatever. You know, that's it. Like, and I would prefer to have a fighting chance.
You think you stand a fighting chance though? Yeah.
If a great white shark bit me, I might have a chance.
Yeah, you sound quite well. Someone was it? Someone got bit recently in. Is it New West Wales or New Wales in Australia?
Have great white sharks come here?
And yeah, no. In Great Britain, I remember when I first moved to Wales.
Don't fucking say this to me, bro. I won't ever get in again.
No. I knew in Wales when I first came here, it was either the Sun or the Mirror had like a great white shark on it, and it was like, like one biting, but it was just like, one was spotted close to Great Britain, and that was it. It wasn't like on the shores, whatever. It was just spotted closer than it's ever been. But it's because if the temps start rising, they're going to be coming this way. And they're not the ones you got to be scared about, mate. The great white's not the ones you got to be scared about. It's like the tiger shark or the.
That's not true though, because
why?
Because it's not about facts, okay? It's not about DNA factual. This is what's happening. It's about the sight of a great white shark. I might just go into fucking anaphylactic shock and just die. I've had dreams, right? I've had fucking dreams where like I've been in the ocean or whatever. I've turned around and like I turn around in the ocean and there's just a great white shark like 5 feet in front of me looking at me. Like if that happens,
see that's not what scares me. Is that what scares you? At that point,
me, you wouldn't be scared.
No, because at that point it's attacking. I'm preparing to be bitten. What scares me is if I was in the middle of the ocean, it's pitch black, right, and you're like,
oh my
under the
God.
water, and then you just see like the fin really far away, and then it just goes and you can't see it, and you're just like, fuck this, I want fucking out, and you just see them coming closer, and just because they will, and they won't come and straight attack you. They'll like come swim by you to see how big you are, see what you are, and then it'll be like coming down, up, and just pure
power, pure strength.
Yeah, but like
Clothes
again,
milk. Fight milk.
Fuck yeah, fight milk. Fuck.
What would your ideal combination of predators be to make the ultimate animal hybrid?
I think you'd probably have something like no. You'd have like something with like hippo skin, wouldn't you?
Hippo skin.
Yeah, really thick blubber. Like you wouldn't be able to get through it.
Maybe.
No, because hippos are stronger than that. Fucking hippos. You can't stab a hippo. Like their skin's like this deep.
Stab a hippo.
You would feel it. They're really deep. Honestly, if you look it up, look how thick it is.
I wouldn't want to fuck with a hippo.
No.
They're cute babies, but
fuck.
Yeah, the idea of being clamped down by one seems.
No. You need something with stealth. For me, the ideal hunter is on the smaller size, like cheetah size, but the power of like a lion or an alligator bite with thick skin. Because then you can't stop it, regardless of your size.
Alligator,
you can't
hippo, hybrid.
meets like jaguar or lynx or something.
That would be one fucked creature. Jesus Christ,
savage, I reckon.
Oh, something that we've also been sort of trying to hypothesize recently is the idea of a camping vlog. Oh yes.
Yeah, man.
I don't know when we would do it. I also don't know where we would do it. Have you got any ideas where like we go, like where we could even go camping? Like, I mean, I suppose we could go up to
my shed.
That's what I was thinking.
Because I need to burn loads of stuff up there anyway.
You see, that might be a good idea. I know we'll have to plan it for some time because I'd like to do some more like vlogs and get some good like B-roll footage and stuff like that, and try and do some different content on this channel. That would be interesting to watch. I think that would be super fun. And as far as my year seems pretty boring, to be honest. I obviously with coronavirus and stuff like that, not very many plans being put forward. I don't really know. Ariana's birthday's coming up. I don't really know what to do with that. Have you got any special plans?
No, I got some projects in my mind of what I want to do, especially for the channel, if that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
For the channel, I want to do something like Scare October, so having more scarier games being played, especially multiplayer games, and really go into it.
Your fucking reaction on that Dark Souls video when you met that skeleton dude, bro.
I know.
Looking back at the video, it is pure fear. It's pure fear.
Yeah, but most people think I'm just fucking putting it on. My mum's like, James, shut the fuck up. It's not scary. I'm like, fucking, I'm terrified. Like, I'm genuinely terrified. Like, I would fucking run if I could. Like, I broke our laptop, because I started running in the bed when we were watching Markiplier, because when he was playing a game Among the Sleep, I was like, bam! I was like, fucking God! I snapped the fucking laptop charger because I was out of there.
Fuck that shit.
And Holly just couldn't stop laughing. Like, but like, with the channel, I'd like to try and do something amazing for lead up to New Year's. So New Year's Eve there will be a big prize pool for something, which that's another whole thing. Yeah, because that's going to require a lot of like planning and a lot of working out. I just don't know if I've got the time, but I really want to do something like that. And I'm writing, not this weekend, the following weekend, I'm going to start writing my animation. So I'm going to write it all down. I'm going to get all the script. We're going to do a storyboard for about 4 or 5 seasons, and then it's just going to be broken up, and then broken up, and broken up, and I'm going to start writing then each episode. Each episode will be 20 minutes long. It'll be 10 episodes a season.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
So that won't come out this year. Won't probably come out next year, the year after.
Yeah, seeing how it goes, like, obviously.
Yeah, a year of, yeah.
There's a new show that's come out recently as well that fucking has strucken the nation on Netflix. The new Jamie Foxx film. What is it called? Power. And so the premise of Power is that there is a drug dealer. You know, there's sort of like this cartel leader, whatever, and he's been selling off these pills, and they give you a power, but you don't know what your power is.
Ooh.
But it lasts 5 minutes. Some people blow up and just die. Some people's powers completely fuck them over and they have no control. Some people get really fucking lucky. And so the film goes through meeting all these different characters and stuff like that, and them taking.
That's a really cool premise.
It's actually awesome. It's really fucking good. And I mean, I don't have to state it, because if you've been around for the streams, you will know how hyped me and Tucker are for season 2 of The Boys, because I literally can't. It's the 4th September, bro.
I want to watch it with you. Time. I thought maybe getting you down here, and like on the 3rd, you staying over for the 4th. We just binge watching it all, and just getting the 50 or 60 inch TV we got, and just watching it on there.
That sounds nice. Right.
Fucking 4K.
That sounds fucking class. I have got. How long have we been going for now? We've been going for half an hour. I have something, a little thing that I wanted to try with you, actually.
Yeah?
I wanted to bring it up. I've noticed a few people do it online, and I wanted to fuck with it myself. So, have you heard of AI Dungeon? So, there's this sort of program that's come out. We're going to fuck around a bit with it now. I wanted to see what we could do here. Now, Dungeons and Dragons, it's good. But what if you didn't need a dungeon master, and instead the AI was the dungeon master? Tucker, today I am going to be guiding you through a small adventure, right?
Oh, right.
And here we go. So to start with, my first question is, would you like this world to be fantasy, a mystery, apocalyptic, zombies, which is apparently a different thing, cyberpunk, custom, or archive? I don't know what that means. Just pick one of the first 5.
Let's go apocalyptic.
Okay.
Something different.
We're going to go for apocalyptic. Let's see. So you've got to select a character. You've got your choices of soldier, survivor, or courier.
Well, I'll be survivor.
Here we go. Survivor. Let's see what story is generated. Enter your character's name. Let's call him Big T.
Tuck. Oh, yeah, Big T.
Generating story. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, man.
You are Big T, a survivor trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world by scavenging among the ruins of what is left. You have a backpack and a canteen. You haven't eaten in 2 days, so you're desperately searching for food. You enter a rundown building and search the rubble. You find torn up remains of a granola bar in an old shirt and eagerly eat it up, shoving it in your mouth and licking your fingers. Suddenly, you hear a sound. You hear a shout, sorry. What do you do? Now, the thing with AI Dungeon is there is no limits whatsoever, right? So just go free. Just be free.
Where am I? Where am I?
What do you mean, where are you?
Where am I eating this granola bar?
You're in a rundown building. And you're searching the rubble, and you just find a torn-up shirt with granola in it, and you're like, fucking yes. Oh, you love it. This is the best thing you fucking tasted in weeks. And you're shoving it down your cake hole, and then somebody, you can hear
scream
in the background, and you're like, what the fuck's that?
Well, I would go away from the scream. Move away from the scream as fast as possible. I would then likely get to a higher place.
Okay, well, let's just start with one action at a time. We don't want to overwhelm the AI. So, you go away from the scream as fast as possible. You scamper towards it and... You scamper toward it and find a man standing with a bleeding leg. His eyes widen. He sees you. You! He says in disbelief. What do you do? Or there is other actions as well. You can do or say. So you can say something or you can do something.
Say, get wrecked.
Okay. You say, get wrecked, you reply. What do you mean? Speak English, he responds. I heard a scream and you were the only one around, so I helped you out. Okay. What do you do?
He helped me out.
I think it's you reply. He said, what do you mean? Speak English, he responds. And then you say, I heard a scream and you were the only one around, so I helped you out. You could, I don't know. You could,
prepare to die. I'm a survivor. I'm going to kill this guy and I'm going to eat him.
To die.
And then do attack.
Prepare to die. Oh, wait, hang on a minute. No. Here we go. Let's just see what this does.
Just eat this guy.
Let's do it. It's done. You kill the man and eat him. I'm going to kill you and have my way have my way with your wife.
I don't know where I was going with that. What the fuck? What wife? This is supposed to be apocalyptic. If someone's got a wife in this scenario, Jesus Christ.
His eyes widen in fear. He hears the last part. No way, man. She's dead. I just found her body. What the fuck? What do you do? So this man, he's got a bleeding leg. He's asking you for help, and you're like, I'm going to kill you.
Try and take the body.
Take the body. Let's see what's generated. You grab the man's body and run into a nearby building. You throw the man up against a wall and start searching him. What are you doing? He asks. I'm taking what's mine, you reply. Fuck.
Yeah.
You're savage.
It's not where I'm going with it, is it? It's decided to take a whole new fucking route.
The generated story is real. What do you do?
Stab him.
Have you even got stab him? You plunge your knife into his chest. He screams as blood pours out of his body. You bite into his chest and suck out the blood.
Yeah,
I think you're a vampire.
Or a dinosaur.
Dinosaurs do that?
Have you not heard that? I'm a vampire. I'm a dinosaur. No. I'm a vampire. I'm a dinosaur.
Okay, well, I tell you what. I'm going to... Well, this man's fucking dead. So, I just typed in search what? Search around. Oh, no. Actually, do you know what? We'll go with it. You search what? You look down at what you're holding in your hands and realise what you did. What did I do? What did you do? He says. You reply, I killed you. I killed him.
Stab myself. Like Romeo and Juliet. He's gone.
Okay. You stab yourself and say the words, you love you. You plunge your knife into your chest.
Could you imagine?
And say the words, you love you. You look down at what you did and then fall backwards. I feel like the best action now is to just be like, okay, I get up and walk away. Get up and walk away.
Could you imagine me like saying to you, like, you love you, and just stab? What the fuck?
You get up and walk away. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue, the man says. Shut up. you say, walking away. You hear him laugh as you leave the building. So that exchange, just to briefly go over what that exchange was, this is basically what happened. You heard a man shouting in the distance. You went, oh, okay. You walked over to that man. You went, oh, fucking hell, are you all right? And he goes, yeah, I'm all right. How are you? And you go, I'm going to kill you. And then he goes, what? And he goes, my wife is dead. And then you go, what? And he goes, yeah, the body's here. And you go, okay. Then you pick him up, take him to a building, bite into his chest and suck out his blood, stab him, stab yourself, fall on the floor, die, get back up. Then he comes back to life. The man comes back to life like Jesus and says, what's wrong? Cat's got your tongue? And then you just say, and then you just walk away dramatically. And he laughs. What a fucking exchange. Let's try. I want to try the fantasy one because this is the recommended one. It's got some more, I'd say, better AI decisions. The other ones are sort of like sort of trial ones. But
right.
This one, you get to choose noble, princess, knight, wizard, witch, ranger, squire, peasant, or rogue. Peasant, I feel, is the option there.
Let's go peasant, yeah.
Peasant. Enter your character's name. We'll call him
Big T.
We'll call him Little T.
Oh.
The offspring of Big T. You are Little T, a peasant living in a small village of Kingdom of Larian. You have a pitchfork and nothing else. You dream of getting out of your village and having an adventure. You go to your fields and begin working. You look up and see a small dragon flying overhead. You make a wish. Make a wish. And the dragon disappears. Suddenly you're transported to another world. Good thing the dragon didn't see you. Whoa, that went from 0 to 100. So you've transported to another world. The dragon didn't see you. And then it just says, what do you do? So all it's giving you is you've been transported to another world. You don't know what this world is or anything like that. But there you go.
I'll look around.
I mean, that seems like the obvious answer, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, if you've just been teleported somewhere, you wouldn't be like, straight going that way. You wouldn't even look. You would look behind you to see where the fuck you were.
It says, you are in a large village. There is a huge dragon trying to burn it down. You hide behind a house and suddenly a man on a galloping horse comes into the village. What do you do?
Exit the village. I ain't fucking hanging around a dragon. I'm a peasant.
Exit the village.
Or loot. Either one.
I wonder how... You are running through the forest, desperately looking for somewhere to run. You hear the dragon roaring behind you. You turn around and see that it has caught up with you.
It's a fucking dragon.
I think, right, what you should do, you should just go for it. Just lob something at it and try and kill it.
Okay. Grab a pebble and throw it at it.
Grab a pebble and throw it in the dragon's eye?
Yeah. Yeah, great shot.
Here we go.
Bam.
Bam. You grab the pebble and throw it in the dragon's eye. The dragon squints and tries to see where the pebble hit it. You are transported back to the village. The dragon has given up its attempt to destroy the village. Congratulations! You... Can you imagine if that was like... Oh my god.
You
did it, man. And there's a story option. What happens next? Okay, so let's just see what happens next. Where else can it generate? We'll end it on one... big note. We'll do something. We'll see how far we can push this AI to its limits now.
Okay.
Long sentences for actions. No problem. Get creative. Okay, we're waiting for something. Okay, can I just look around again? Over there, you look around. Over there is a house. In the house are some gold coins. There is also a hungry-looking wolf. You are Little T, a peasant living in a small village in the Kingdom of Larian. Right, so maybe what we should do is go... let's see how far we can do this. We go to the castle where the king is, kill him, take his gold, take his wife, and live happily ever after. Let's see what happens. You go to the castle where the king is, you kill him, take his gold, take his wife, and live happily ever after. You stroll into the castle, open the king's bedroom door, you grab his gold and leave. The king is still alive when you leave, but his guards are dead. You did it.
Where's his wife?
Where is the wife? Where is wife? Where is wife? You are little T, a peasant living in a small village of Kingdom Larian. You're in a forest behind the king's castle. This thing, I tell you what, it is completely fucked. Featured scenarios, Death Island. There's like loads of ones where people have made their own AI sort of like dungeon simulators as well, and loads of different scenarios. Like I think there's a Witcher one. I think there's fucking...
Oh, damn.
Yeah, there's loads of different things. There's something I've seen on a few around, and I wanted to give it a go and see what it's like. And it is clearly fucking insane. But we will move on. Now, what's the next topic of discussion? News. What's been happening in the news recently?
You're going to go for news. I was going to say, do you want to check the comments? Because it's been 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Bloody hell, we've got fucking loads of them, haven't we? Let's have a look. Splick says, have you ever thought about flying using Microsoft Flight Simulator?
Have you?
No, I mean, I know a lot of people go on about how cool it looks or whatever, but I've got no interest to realistically fly a plane.
I think I would like it if I had everything.
VR, moving chair, full fucking whole kit and caboodle. Maxed out to the complete nines. That would be fucking savage. That would be pretty fucking cool. You've got like a gear shifts and you've got all the exact fucking things on the plane.
I just could not be fucked to learn all that.
Right, that would be far too fucking much.
But I've heard it's good. Yeah, I've heard good things. I definitely will try it out because I'm always up for a new experience.
Hell yeah. Calroy says shark attacks on people are rare. That yes, they are, but you never know. Well, that's my attitude on it. You never know. Yeah. And that's why I don't give it a chance to. I've seen a person... Calroy says, I've seen a person punch a shark.
What sort of shark?
And where?
And when?
And
how?
And also said there's a cryptic creature called the bear beast. It's a hybrid between a brown bear and a wolf. Its head is a wolf and it has the body of a brown bear. That's quite savage. It would be such a tiny head.
No, man.
Like of size, like a wolf head of size of the bear.
No, but even an alpha wolf is pretty big head. Like we're talking, they're big. Alpha wolves are bigger than you think they are. Like
their head on a fucking brown bear would look ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I don't know because the wolves are big. They're just so big. When you look at them, they're huge. They are big animals.
I don't know about
especially
that.
In the wild. I would not want to fuck around with a wolf in the wild because that thing is fucking.
Who's fucking around with wolves in the wild? Fuck that.
We're always on animals, aren't we? We love animals. We love it.
We gotta talk about the animals.
We love the animals, man. We love it.
It's the hypotheticals, isn't it? The hypothetical, the one-on-ones. Again, I don't. Well, last stream I learnt about. That I would be dominated by chimpanzees because they are
fucking thinks he could take a fucking chimp.
Well, I don't know. I thought so. I didn't think they were as strong as they were, but I mean, I'm wrong.
Savage,
clearly.
Right?
Fuck that. And you ain't gonna find me in the jungle anytime soon, one-on-oneing these animals. Maybe one day if I become a millionaire and I can do like a Joe Exotic Tiger King thing, but maybe it's man versus animal.
Hmm.
I doubt that would go down with.
I don't think you'd win. I just don't think you'd win. Me.
I'd get gladiators to fight in my stead.
Oh right, you just revamp the Colosseums and bam, exactly. Let's do this shit.
Exactly, man on man, man versus chimp. Here we go. Let's see.
Mano. In apocalypse, who knows?
Then it would be all right.
Yeah, who's gonna stop you?
Bigger fish to fry at that point, I think.
Yeah, literally.
It fucking almost does feel like the apocalypse is coming. I know, fucking every day the news is so different about what's going on with the coronavirus. It's mental. It just sort of almost feels like I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Have you heard? This is about gaming, so this is relevant to us.
Go on.
And it's about and it's news. It's new. Right. Have you heard that Epic Games are taking Apple to court?
Yes.
Have you seen that?
I have.
That's really interesting.
And it was something to do with what is it? Something to do with their is it gambling policy or is it something like that? It's something that on
so how it works is if you have an app on let's say Google or Apple, in the app, let's say you sold coins for £5 for 1,000 coins, right?
Right.
Google or Apple, if someone bought those, would take 30% of the £5.
Right. Okay.
And what Epic were like, they were like, no, don't do that. Just go to our website, buy it there, and we'll just grant you the money. So they bypassed Apple/Google.
Well, that's fair enough.
But then it's out of their T's and C's. You can't do that. And
why?
What Apple are saying is like, fuck you, you're off all of our stuff. Like they've removed them off everything. But what I didn't know, Epic own Unity, the game developing company.
Yeah.
So that means anything owned by Epic would get removed. So anything made by Unity would also get removed if this continues. How fucked is that? Like, you just talk about small-time creators at this point.
Well,
right?
yeah. Well, 30% is a fucking huge cut for.
Right, but why?
Anything,
But what Epic are saying is that, from my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But like, they're saying, hey, Apple shouldn't have this monopoly, nor should anybody, and that's always been the case with phones. Is why does Google like stop promoting other services which you could have onto your phone, like an app store? They hold them to ransom, and I think that's really interesting because like what their argument with Apple is, they're a monopoly. They're ransacking the whole thing. They're not letting anybody come in and try and do their own thing. They're dominating the market. So I think this will be a very interesting leading battle, and I think it might set a precedent for these mobile phone companies.
It could do. I mean, Epic's fucking huge, right? I mean, they are coming off the back
fucking
of some of the
Fortnite.
biggest success, almost ever. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely fucking
Rocket
crazy.
League, owned by them now.
Oh, no way.
That's where they go. That's why they're going free to play, because it's going to Epic.
We might do a few rounds of Rocket League later because I'm totally keen for a bit of a kick around on the ball. But something that has been fascinating to me that I wanted to briefly talk about was a magician I've not heard about in fucking years, and just because I don't follow him, David Blaine.
Yeah, man.
Now, you already know what I'm going to say. The Joe Rogan podcast, when he was on, his new shows that he's doing on YouTube, like this balloon stunt. What a fucking crazy...
I haven't seen the balloon stunt. Lie to me.
Well, he hasn't done it yet, so I'll tell you the story from his point of view. So, where David Blaine come from, and after I watched the podcast with Joe Rogan, I'm absolutely fascinated by him as an individual because he's so much like, I don't know, he takes magic to a different sort of level where, he makes, well, in his words, they're endurance feats, right? They're these real things that you don't think, are possible. Like, for instance, one of his stunts was holding his breath underwater for something like 13 minutes or whatever he did it for.
Yeah, well, he can do 20. He did 20 minutes the one time and he passed out, didn't he?
Right, and he talks about that, and he goes on about, and it's something that Margot Robbie, I think there's a scene where she's in, I think it might have been Suicide Squad or maybe the new one, Birds of Prey, where she had to be in water or something like that, and she got like this Navy SEALs SAS training, whatever, and basically he had this same thing, and he talks about what they do and explain, the sensation of, inverted commas, drowning, and goes on about, how, you're underwater. After about 45 seconds, you're wanting to take a breath. About a minute in, a minute 20 in, you are feeling like you want to convulse, and you will. But after that, you've got a good 3-4 minutes. And it's like, and talks about it in this totally different way. But the reason I wanted to bring him up was because of this new stunt that he's doing. So he had this idea where ever since he was a kid, he wanted to... Have you ever heard of Lawn Chair Larry? So there was a man in the news years ago, and he bought thousands of fucking balloons and helium, tied them all to a garden lawnmower chair, and flew up in the sky. And he had a little pellet gun to shoot the balloons, to pop them and come back down. Right? That was some crazy cunt that did that. Right? Just sitting on a lawn chair, like, where?
He did it.
Like, he did it. He was in the air, bro. He did it. And so David Blaine wanted to. He talks about how since he was a kid, he wanted this shot of him not being suspended by anything and holding a bunch of balloons and flying, right? Just that because he always sees it in iconic pictures, like people flying up, but he wanted to do that IRL, and so he had to. The amount of fucking training that this man had to do this, like he had 4 months to prepare or something like that. He was doing 15 to 30 parachute drops a day to get his 500 parachute drops to do it solo, just in case he fell. He had to do all these sorts of endurance training, and he talked to loads of producers about doing it, but the only one that took him on board, YouTube, and they've signed a live deal with him. They've got it coming out on the specific date, and they're doing it live, of this live stunt where he's going to go up on these fucking loads of balloons hanging by his arm, and he's going to get to, what did he say? He said he's going to get to about 3,000 feet, then put a parachute on, then go to 12, 13, 14, I think he said 20,000 feet, and then drop.
Why? That's not magic.
It's not, no, but it's his.
It's pushing the boundaries, right?
Exactly. Like there's ones where he was 20, where I think he spent 40 hours inside like a block of ice with not doing anything, just sitting there in a block of ice. Like, and he said how much he was hallucinating, seeing things on the walls and things like that. And he was like, but you'd be so fucking surprised about how far you can push your body. And he talks about a man, I can't remember if it was in Russia or something like that, that he used to, his magic trick, his show was putting swords through him, but it was not a stunt. They were real swords that were actually going through him. And he talks about like, how is that possible?
What?
And it was because it was something to do with the way he talked about it. It was like they'd put these swords in them, and then doctors would just let them they would cut either the blade off the other end and let the heart pump the blade out the other side. And if you did that and leave it that long and let it heal that way, you can pretty much recover from even getting stabbed in the lungs or something like that. And now I don't know how much of that is true, all with a grain of salt.
Very little.
Like, exactly. It's him talking about it. But so he did this show for like years and years of people just putting things through him. And then what was it? It was like, and then he thought he got really cocky or something, and it was something stupid, like he swallowed a thumbtack or something, and it just cut him as a stunt, and it just cut him, and he died. He died from internal bleeding. Like, it was fucked. But years he had this show of people just like shoving things through him. It's insane. People's fucking ability for their art, their craft, or whatever they want to do. It's fucking nuts. Like, you think of Houdini and things like that. Like, these people that are just on the line for it.
Talking about people who could do that sort of thing, definitely Sen, right? Like someone like Sen would have that ability, I think, just to be like,
there's
head down, like, you know how he just doesn't give a shit about anything, right? I'm not saying like someone's stabbing him or whatever, different, right? But doing what David Blaine's doing is the sort of shit I could imagine if I heard
like a mental endurance feat.
Yeah. Like, he's gonna try and like run from the south of Wales to the north of Wales, like something fucking like he's doing it. He doesn't care about press or anything. He's just going to do it.
The endurance on the boy is pretty fucking incredible, but I don't think he can be doing shit like David Blaine does. That stuff's insane.
I think he'd give it a go. Like, he'd give it a good fucking crack.
Give it a go.
And he'd stay out in that fucking water until he passed out. He wouldn't give a fuck.
It's fucking.
Like, he'd like you, and he'd pass out, and he'd probably live.
It's fucking crazy. Some of these fucking stunts that people like David Blaine do is fucking nuts. Like, did you hear about how Houdini died?
I can't remember. Was it in a river?
It was something.
You couldn't find him.
It was something to do with. At least this is what David Blaine says. He says that he had this show every night where people would he'd get the strongest men ever to like punch him in the stomach, and he would just take the punch, and then he would show that he was like totally unfazed by it, like unharmed, like, again, these endurance things. And one day some like college kids or whatever came in and punched him in the stomach as hard as they could when he was sleeping, and because he just did it off by surprise, it totally fucked his insides, and he was rushed to hospital and died.
Yeah, you can get fucked by doing that sort of thing. It's because you're tensing, you're protecting your internal organs. You can take a lot of hits. Like, is it Muay Thai? Muay Thai fighters, they usually kick you in the stomach, like, flat out.
And they're fucking crazy. Muay Thai is a fucking good one. A lot of these martial arts are pansy martial arts compared to playing like Muay Thai.
Fuck.
I feel like there's a staple. No, Taekwondo. Yeah, Taekwondo is fucking stupid as fuck.
Right. Yeah, it's just
I feel like there's a staple of like martial arts though that are inherently good at actual defense, like mixed martial arts, like judo, like jiu-jitsu, exactly, like Muay Thai,
don't want to fuck with them.
You know, these sort of things. Wrestling, very good as well, yeah, for sure. And so all the other ones just seem a bit. I think it's more to do with discipline and less to do with defense, right? It's a state. A lot of them. It's a being.
It depends, doesn't it? It's a different challenge, right? If you're doing kickboxing or something like that, you're only allowed to do kicks to the head, not punch to the head or whatever.
Yeah.
You've got to be a different level of fitness. You've got to be stronger in your legs, whatever. Your arms doesn't matter so much. So it's like that, like you said, it's a different level of discipline in that regard. And it's not about winning the fight. It's about points. It's like boxing, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's not about who's got the hardest fucking punch in that ring, because you got to land that fucking punch. And I feel like with those sort of sports, with like Taekwondo maybe, or karate is a good one, because they do some punching and stuff, but like,
yeah,
I do wonder what would happen if I decided to go, fuck it, let's go. Like, I'll fucking come at you.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're going to try and get me in a guillotine chokehold if I come fucking running at your belly, you know, trying to do a takedown. So I'm going to come run at your face. Like that's what's going to happen. Now try and defend it with your one arm, two arm fucking blocks, and
exactly,
and oof, look at me. Like, you're not going to be able to do that. If some fucking nutter or on the streets of fucking London was going to start a fight with someone, karate is not something you want to be learning.
Well, like, that's the thing. It's like I think half of the problem is something like I've done many martial arts throughout my entire life, and the one thing I realized, kung fu, yeah, I've done kung fu, I've done judo, done MMA, done boxing. One thing I sort of realized through it is, as soon as you introduce moves that are good in the sense of like exercise and movement, like kung fu, learning a tornado kick and these things and these movements, these like getting used to your body like that, all of that goes out the window when the fight or flight reaction is initiated. And where places like you know, MMA, jiu-jitsu, judo, things like that shine is their simple movements that control somebody's body. And when you can control somebody's body that way, it totally takes any fight out of them. It doesn't matter if you're big or fucking small. If you get in the right choke, like, you're going out. Like, it's simple.
Yeah.
And speaking of fighting, friggin', what was it? Dylan White and Thingy fought the other day. MMA. No, was it boxing? Not MMA. Boxing.
White
sorry.
is, yeah.
That knockout was savage.
I've seen it.
Was
it by White?
Was yes. And he got knocked out.
Yeah, but White gets he got knocked out by Anthony Joshua, and I can't see
savage knockout.
Yeah, I can't see White beating Wilder or Fury.
Well, I mean,
especially on Fury.
When is it? I wonder how these next boxing fights and things like that are going to happen.
December, isn't it? December, apparently, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah, Fury, because they want Joshua Fury next year, don't they?
That'd be freaking crazy.
Yeah, that would be fucking crazy. That'd be absolutely amazing.
It'd be good to see some actual more like sporting events and stuff like that start going ahead again.
Yeah.
Like, as I was saying earlier, it's so confusing at the moment because you've got places like in England that are like, oh, we need to go on lockdown, everything's being locked down, and other places are like, get your children, go back to school, everybody go back to work, it's fine. And it's like, what do you mean? It's fucking mental. And
well, this is I'm all for freedom of press, right? And hear me out when I say this sort of thing, but like, sometimes they should be held accountable for the things they do. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Especially with this coronavirus, the fact that they're putting out every day a different scientist saying this, saying that, saying this, saying that, and likewise,
it's
in my
like
opinion,
fear-mongering, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the World Health Organization has done shit. If that, looking at that, right, I would not put any money into that organization. I'd be like, what have you actually done? Right, you're the people who should be actually solving this issue, right? This is your time to shine. Show the world why you're here.
Yeah, why you're the
not
World
just
Health
sit there,
Organization.
Not to sit there and go, this is an issue. This is going to take 2 years maybe to get out of, or we may never get out of this. What are you doing?
Helpful.
Fuck off then. Like, just disband you. We'll use that money to fucking put it into fucking solving the coronavirus issue. Like, right. Or helping some fucking kids somewhere. Like, fuck me. And it's the same with these.
Point of it?
some of these fucking news outlets, like you see that they're clickbaiting, and it's sad, right? You put too much info out there, you're losing the real actual information, right? When you're like, oh, if you have these 3 things, it could mean you have coronavirus. What? Like, what are you doing? You're scaring people. Why? I know they sell more if they do these sort of things, but that shouldn't be the case. They should be penalized heavily for doing these, to stop them doing these bullshit fucking things to scare people. Like, it's not fair.
Yeah,
they have a moral obligation.
Kind of yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like, and again, I wouldn't want to restrict the press in any way. I don't know how you do it, because I truly believe in freedom of press and being able to say what the fuck you like. But Jesus Christ, like, have some grip and knowledge that what you do is going to hurt people. Like, how many people do you think have like fucked their financials by buying loads and stuff from like Tesco's and Morrison's or whatever, you know, other stores, you know, and just trying to bulk up, and they've gone, oh, actually, it's not. We can still work. The government's given us money. Oh, I don't need all this stuff now. I've spent my life savings on doing this, just because I was so scared of what's going on. And yeah, maybe a few people, right? Not like hundreds. It could be other things, you know. Could have forced people to fucking loot or whatever.
I think a massive part of the problem is like, and something I sort of again have come to terms with is there are some just inherently really fucking stupid people that like that you sort of don't. Right. I feel like a lot of the time, it's sort of like, you know, we sit and we laugh about, you know, anti-maskers or, you know, whatever. It's like, because there's no reason to not want to help, but to plead this case, and a person that I was reading about and saw recently, which I was I was in disbelief. So there was this, I can't remember how old she was, 19-year-old girl. She had started the coronavirus challenge. Sick can. So the challenge is you lick a toilet seat.
Who? What? Why would you do that?
So she Instagrams herself.
Think about all the shit you could be getting in your mouth.
Licking the toilet, and she goes, coronavirus challenge. Sick can. Fuck yeah. And then this fucker goes on Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil's doing like online fucking over, you know, fucking Skype things now with people, obviously, during all this. And she had said, like, he goes, well, like us, why is it you felt the need to do that, to do what you're, and she goes, well, frankly, Dr. Phil, I think that the coronavirus is a boomer disease, and you all are just trying to scare us, trying to not let us go out and enjoy our freedom. Well, you're wrong, and I'm not going to be held back by something like that. And I'm just like, it's another level of ignorance, isn't it? It's like, it's so out of the, I mean, there's many good things that have come out of social media, YouTube, Twitch, all these platforms that allow you to, what I would definitely call the artistic generation. Like 100 years from now, people are going to go, back then, that's the world where they could do what they wanted, and anyone could show what they wanted online and do what they wanted. Do you know what I mean? That is what this generation is. And it's fucking crazy to see someone with that high level of ignorance.
That sort of thing, though, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why anybody would think, oh, you know, it only hurts old people, or it hurts someone, right?
Right.
Like, if it hurts someone, why are you enabling that? Well, it doesn't bother me, but it will bother you. Like, there will be people in your family who are older than you, right? They could get this. Like, or if you don't care about them, right? There's people in this world that you should be caring about. Like, there's a reason why the smartest minds are usually the older people, because they've read every fucking book, they've read every fucking thing, they've experienced most fucking things, right? I'm not saying every single fucking person is smart because they're old, right? That's another fucking stupid thing. Yeah. If you meet some fucking idiot walking down the street who's like telling you fucking God's underneath your feet, stop. That's not the person to talk to, right? But, you know, if you're talking to somebody who has worked their whole life in any field, right? Why would you want to lose that person? Just one prime example for me Why would I David Attenborough, like, he is somebody who is old,
Of age.
Of age, thank you, right? And could be susceptible to it, right? Right? So it could be susceptible to it, right? Like, he honestly could. He could get hurt.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And he's somebody who is somebody who has so much knowledge, and he hasn't been able to release it all yet. Like, give us all the information. And yeah, shut the fuck up, those sort of people.
It's
like,
I don't know. And the thing is, though, I think, again, a massive something that's, I mean, again, we are fucking digging into some issues here, aren't we, of people, but it's also an issue with what has unfortunately come along with the artistic generation has also come mass ego, which is everyone feels the need to have clout or have fans that tell them that they're so amazing, or they have some form of like acceptance online. I remember, I think it was one of the gentlemen that helped make Facebook or something like that with Zuckerberg, and he had said he talked about something like they had designed this crafted thing where, you know, you would post a picture, you'd get a like, and that would be sort of like a dopamine spike, like people like my photo, you know, and then you take that now to the extent we've gotten to 10 years down the line of fucking Facebook being made, or whenever the fuck it was made, where we've just got millions of likes, billions of videos, and all of this, but then you introduce this thing as well that is like, okay, people are killing themselves if they don't get fucking 10,000 likes, because then they're not good enough, because it's not like 100,000 like their post that popped off or whatever. It's a crazy fucking thing. All their friends, you know what I mean? Like, it's a crazy thing when you introduce like YouTube fame, Instagram fame, and it really shows a person on a real level as well what they are, because the insecurities get to be brought out and things like that as well. So I think with her issue, she just got herself into this fucking mindset like, oh yeah, I got this coronavirus challenge, it popped off, everyone thinks I'm an idiot, but clout is clout, whatever.
Yeah.
What sort of attitude is that?
Right. And you're right with regards to like likes and shit like that on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. And
whatever it is, really.
You know, you could talk about some of the people who are like, oh yeah, like this guy because he's eating this amount of food. Like, you know that guy who goes around eating who used to go around eating all those like big fucking meals.
Yeah,
sure. Whole TV show on it, right?
Oh, that Adam eats everything, or Adam?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but like, think about this damage he's done to his insides just because he wanted people to like him, and they weren't like liking him for the feat he's accomplished. They're more laughing at the fact that he'd eat that amount of food.
That he can do it.
Yeah, and the sentiment behind it's gone, right? Like, you're not creating content because you love that. You're creating content at that point to please people.
Exactly. The problem is when you introduce things like that, I think there's also sort of a level of there's certain characters among the YouTube space that have definitely broken out of it, but there's just like this level of disconnect when you bring like you think about like right. I mean, I don't know if I can even talk about this, but I'll briefly go over it. Like, have you ever heard of Call Me Carson? There's a lad. He's a part of this Misfits gang and Fitz or something like that. I don't know the details, but as far as I'm aware, Carson liked a girl. Fitz banged this girl, his friend, in this thing. And the point is, there's like almost when you introduce millions of people to a problem that is nothing to do with them, all of a sudden this I don't even know how to word it other than like this eminence comes off from their character that this person is inherently a bad person as well. You know, maybe for example, let's say a Coat and Sen video, you know, when they were popping off, doing all these cool things, doing this, and then something happened that caused a controversy, boom, that would be it. I would be getting hate for the next 5-10 years of my life now. Do you know what I mean? And it could have been over, let's say, I was on camera with Sen, and I went, fuck off, Sen, and that was the last thing that was ever said or whatever. Boom, controversy, and then people cling to that, and then it becomes so toxic, but you can't get away from it because people love it. And it's like the same issue with reality TV. They feel the need to like input themselves on it. Like Pokimane. Hey, Pokimane, you're a fucking idiot. Why? I don't know, because you are. Everyone else says you are. Why? Like, what's going on? Like, people just love to ride the bandwagon, you know?
Yeah, like, what is it? Like, James Charles, remember that?
Oh,
like,
fucking hell, yeah.
What's his name? Jeffree Star, is it? Like, they keep getting fucking cancelled left, right, and centre. Like, why? Like, you're following this person for a reason, right? You're following them for, I guess, for James Charles's makeup line and what he's doing.
I don't know the specific controversies of them.
Exactly. But... And like, you know, why is it got to be one community versus another community whenever something pops off like this? You know, it's like, stop that shit. Like that's the first thing you want to do.
Flame wars, man. I mean, back in the day on Reddit when they were happening and stuff like that, they were so small now. But then you introduce like 2 people with millions of subscribers, and it's fucking nuts. Right. It's nuts, like, man. You get millions of people against other millions of people. It's insane. If that was
us, man, like I'd just be like, stop that. Like our fan base is not that. Like we're not that. Like I don't want that to be the fan base's mentality. Like that we got to either be stuck up for or attack another person. Like no, I'd rather you out of the fan base. Like
it's fucking nuts. But again, it's something we can't really get away from because it's sort of what culture.
But like we're gonna have controversy in our time. We're definitely gonna have that. Like I can see it.
Sure. I mean, I think it almost happens to every content creator at some point. You get some level of...
But it's how you deal with it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
because it's never going to be our intention to do something bad.
And listen, there is no controversy too bad, because if you can be Logan Paul and do what you do and then come out of the other side where people are looking at you as the good brother, you'll be all right. Because if there's one thing that's true, fans' minds don't fucking go beyond fucking 6-7 months anyway. Do you know what I mean? They've forgiven him. He stopped posting for a while. He came back, tried to be a bit of a nicer lad, and everyone was like, yeah, cool, man. Cool. You're doing it, man. You're doing it. Great. That's all it takes. People don't really care. They just want drama. Again, it's just about that initial fucking drama. Nuts. Absolutely fucking nuts. Well, we're about 15 minutes in. We can wrap this up in 5 minutes, and then we can do a bit of a Rocket League blast if you want, and see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm keen. We're doing well.
I dipped out of gold on Rocket League, so I'm kind of devastated at that right now, and I haven't gone back to try and climb the rankings again. You know, I don't want to lose it all. I was watching Hat Films some more. I enjoy watching them play Rocket League, and about 4 weeks ago, one of them just got to gold. Now they're all on like silver 2 or 1. They've just been going, and I'm hoping that's not what's going to happen to us. You know.
Well, Credo was talking to me about it, and he's saying like, hey, just so you know, they're adding more GC ranks. So at the higher level, there's more ranks up there. I was like, that sounds cool. But I reckon at the end of this month, in about 7 days, it's going to be a new month. So our levels are going to be wiped anyway.
Yeah?
Yep, and I reckon it's going to go free to play then. And if it does, we got to be on that because we could get to plat. Like, because you got to think all the new players are going to be on there.
True. Yeah. It'll be a good chance to get on and actually try to learn the game a bit more without getting fucking absolutely shit on by people that just have such an understanding of the mechanics. It's insane. Snickle posted a video in the Discord not too long ago of mentioning the world tournament that's going on, the RLCS World Series. Fucking insane. I don't know.
The shots they're doing is just like...
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like...
But it looks fun.
It does. And it's really fun to look at, which makes you want to do it. And I think that's really what gets people in it. Like, back then, when you didn't have people when Squishy and things like that weren't around, and everyone was just fucking around on Rocket League trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, Squishy was like, he was like season 3.
And then now you're introducing these people that have got their own flicks and shots and
when you the first season of Rocket League on like the RLS whatever it is, right, the series, World Series, is most people on the ground. They're not flying, because they don't know how to. Like it wasn't really a concept people were picking up. They're like, yeah, we can kind of do it, but it's not as efficient as if you would do it this way.
Yeah, right.
That game, yeah, man, it's a quality game.